I went to work when I was just of grammar school. I got a job as question board boy in a stock brokerage office. I was quick at figure at school. I did 3 years of arithmetic in one. I was particularly good at mental arithmetic as question board boy. I posted the number on the big board in the customer room. One of the customer usually sat by the ticker and call out the prices. They called on to come too fast for me. I have always remembered figure, no trouble at all. There were penalty of other employee in that office. Of course, I made friends with the other fellows, but the work I did, if the market was active, kept me too busy. From then I am to 3 p.m. to let me do much talking. I don't care for it any show during business hours. But a busy market did not keep me from thinking about the work. Those questions did not represent price of stocks to me. So many dollars per share. They were number, of course. They meant something. They were always changing. It was all I had to be interested in the changes. Why did they change? I don't know. I didn't care. I didn't think about that. I simply saw that they changed. That was all I had to think about 5 hours every day and to one Saturday that they were always changing. That is how I first come to be interested in the behavior of price. I had very good memory for figure. I could not remember in detail how the prices had acted on the previous day just before they went up from down. My fans for mental arithmetic come in every hand. I noticed that in advance as well a decline stock prices were apt to show creation habits. So to speak, there was no end of parallel case and this made percentage to guide me. I was only fortune. But after I had taken hundreds of observation in my mind, I found myself testing their accuracy, comparing the behavior of stock today with other day. I was not long before I was anticipating movements in price. My only guide, as I say, was their past performance. I carried the sheets in my mind. I looked for stock price to run on from. I had clocked them. You know what I mean. You can spot, for instance, where the buying in is only a trifle better than the selling. A battle goes on the stock market, and the tape is your telescope. You can depend upon it 7 out of 10 cases. Another lesson I learned early is that there is nothing new in Wall Street. There can be because speculation is old as the hills. Whatever happened in the stock market today has happened before and will happen again. I never forget that. I suppose I really managed to remember when and how it happened. The fact that I remember that way in is my way of capitalizing experience. I got so interested in my game and so anxious to anticipate advance and declines in all the active stocks that I got a little book. I put down my observation in it was not a record of immigrancy transactions such as so many people kept merely to make or lose millions of dollars without getting the swelled head or going to the poorhouse. It was rather a sort of record of my hits and misses, and next to determination of problem movements, I was most interested in verifying whether I had observed accurately in other words, whatever I was right. Said that after studying every fluctuation of the day in an active stock, I was consolidated that it was bewaying of it was always did before it broke 8 or 10 points. Will I will jot down the stock and the price on Monday, and remembering past performance, I would write down that it ought to on the Thursday and Wednesday. Later, I would check up with actually transcription from the tape. That is show I first come to take an interested in the message of the tape. The fluctuation were from the first associated in my mind with upward to or downward movements. Of course, there is always a reason for fluctuation, but the tape down not concern itself with the why and whatever. It doesn't go into explanation. I didn't ask the tape why when I was fortune, and I don't take it today at 40. The reason for what a creation stock doesn't to today many need to know for 2 or 3 days or weeks or months. But what the dickens does that matter? Your business with the type is no, not tomorrow. The reason can wait, but you must act instantly or be late time. And again, I see this happen. You all remember that hollow tube went down 3 points the other day. Will the rest of the market related sharply? That was the fact. On the following Monday, you so that the directors passed the dividend. That was the reason. They knew what they were going to do, and we even if they didn't sell the stock, Thames lost the at least didn't buy it. There was no inside buying, no reason why it should not break. Will I keep up my little memorandum book perfect 6 months instead of leaving for home. The moment I was thought with my work, I did jot down the figure I wanted and would study the changes, always looking for the reception and perplexance. Beware learning to reach the tap algorithm I was not aware of at the time. One day, one of the office boy, his was older than I, come to me where I was eating my lunch and asked me on the quiet of I had money. Why do you want to know? I sighed. Will he sighed. I got dandy tip on Burlington. I am going to play if it if I can get somebody to go in the with me. How do you mean? Played, I asked. To me, the only people who played or called play tips were the customers told jiggers with oldest of decades. Whites cost hundreds, even thousands of dollars to get into the game. It was like owning my private caring and having a coachman who wore a silk hat. That what I mean, plead, he said. How much you got, how much you need. Will I can trade in 5 shares by putting up $5. How are you going to play it? I am going to buy all the Burlington the bucket shop. Will it let carry with the money I give him for margin? He sighed. It's going up, sure. It's like picking up money. Will doubling or in a gypsy. Hold on, I sighed to him and pulled out my little dog book. I was interested in doubling my money, but in his saying that Burlington was going up if it was my notebook or to show it, I looked sure enough Burlington, according to my figuring tone, was acting as it usually did before it went up. I had never budgeted or sold anything in my life and never gambled with the other boy. But all I could see was that this was a grand chance to test the accuracy of my work, of my hobby. It struck me at once that if my dope didn't work in practice, here was nothing in the theory of it was interested anybody. So I give him all I had, went with or pulled resource. He went to one of the nearby bucket shops and bought some Burlington. 2 days later was cashed in. I made a profit $3.2. After that first trade, I go to speculation on my own hook in the bucket shop. I go during my lunch hours and buy or sell. It never made any difference to me. I was playing a system and not favorite stock of baking opinions. I all know was the arithmetic of as a matter of facts. Mine was the ideal way to operate in bucket shop where all that a trader does it to be on fluctuation as the printed by the ticker of tap. It was not long before I was taking much more money but of the bucket shop than was pulling down from my job in the brokerage office. So I give up my position of flux objects, but they couldn't say much even they saw what I was making. I was only kind office boy. Vegas were not every high didn't madly well on my own hook. I was 15 when I had my first thousand and laid then cash in front of my mother. All made in the bucket shop in few months based on what I had taken home. My mother cared on something useful. She's wanted me to put it away in the saving bank out of reach of temptation. She said it was more money that ever held any boy of 15 and made starting with nothing. She didn't quite believe it was really money. She used to worry and fret about it, but I didn't think of anything expectation I could keep.